Hi, this is Brittany from the Goddess Complex LLC here. Welcome to today's video. Today, we're going to be speaking about different types of career positions in the spiritual community that you can use to freelance and make money doing what you love and serving a higher good, or actually setting up an actual business. Whether you're freelancing, using it as a side gig, or actually setting up an actual LLC or S Corp, a biz type of business for your divine purpose. One of the career fields which is more popular, especially online and offline, and it's part of one of the old worlds dated way back when, which is tarot reading or oracle reading. Now, as a tarot reader, you're using cards or some form of item similar to cards for divination. Also, predictability, whether you have psychic abilities or you're intuitively reading cards and receiving a message. You can become a messenger, psychic, or a medium through tarot reading, which is a form of divination. This particular divination is very popular, especially with older and younger crowds of audience of people, which this particular career form in the spiritual community has a very wide array of age range and audience range when it comes to customer and clientele. This one's very unique because you can charge as little or as a lot as you need it, and it normally is time based and time blocked. The amount of money you would make as a tarot reader just really depends on what platform and avenue that you use. A lot of people like to be tarot readers online and practice it online and offline with local and domestic clientele. This particular form of magic and or divination using predictability, intuitive gifts and abilities is actually very popular simply because of the accuracy using the tools to predict the actual outcome per client. This right here is probably one of the most popular and most profound spiritual base, one of many career options for a business. Crystal healer. Now, this is one of my many favorite avenues when it comes to the spiritual journey. Normally, you run across crystals in everyday society, just stepping outside your door, or even going out to take a hike in the mountains, or even going to your favorite yoga meditation station, or even a commercial based store that supply and sell spiritual goods. This not only is one of the old world techniques of taking the earth element and also the cosmic element of crystals to heal your body and also to amplify the intentions of your life. As a crystal healer, you're able to heal people, places, and things, but also help to actually practice something called an ancient technique called feng shui with an actual crystal to help with great intentions and also to block negative intentions in the home space, workspace, or even inside and outside in the environment and community. As a crystal healer, you're able to not only heal yourself, but you're also able to double up and actually sell crystals as an actual purpose of your business, whether you're selling it in jewelry form, wand form, or even adding it to adjusting products to be featured in your business or company or with your brand. Especially most tarot readers normally supply crystals and things of that nature in a actual storefront. This can be supplied in a storefront or sold online. As a crystal healer, it's one of the funnest ways of actually connecting to the earth, especially if you are a crystal indigo crystal child or moon child. You're naturally drawn to crystals as a star seed because it correlates with the planetary star, sun, stars, and moons, but also our ecosystem here on the earth planes. Now, with crystal healing, we have here a candle therapy. Candle therapy are a lot of those people who do candle workings. A lot of them are high priests or high priestesses, but also a lot of them also are witches and warlocks and other magic based titles and labels, which we will discuss in a later video why those names came about and why they conjoin to something of candle therapy. Whether you're practicing voodoo, hoodoo, or simple magic, candle therapy is one of the most beautiful and therapeutic conjunction to a lot of these subtitles and labels for job titles in the spiritual based community. The actual candle therapy, you can actually make candles. You can actually sell candles, wholesale or handmade, and you can actually interpret them with engravings and intentions for your consumers. And it's also one of the many creative jobs and outlets in the spiritual community. You can sell them as little or as lot, bulk sale, or even a lot of people like to drop ship them. And it's there's so many different avenues. And then also you can do candle working, which goes into the form of voodoo, magic, and hoodoo, and other forms of divination or magic that can actually correlate as a job with prayer and other ancient techniques and other positions in the spiritual community. Which brings us to our next section, elemental healer. You are literally one of the earth. You're normally in guru form, or you are literally taking things as an herbalist or as a water healer, or using things like candles as a fire healer or actual fire. You do a lot of fireworks with the element of fire. That's what you normally in tune with. But also a lot of people, yeah, like to use the air form as well. Whether it's smoke healing, clearing, and other additional things. You're an elemental. That means you are tied into the planets, but also tied into a lot of the other air, earth, water, and fire, and also the love, and also I see the word chi, Holy Spirit as well. So you have a lot of that as well. As an elemental healer, you are practicing ancient technique to heal yourself through herbs, through the waters, through fire, through air and smoke and other different things here on earth, in the earth plane. There's nothing that you can do the moment you step outside of your home in the morning. You go out into the world to heal using using each element as a briquette and pillar to helping to heal and save the world. Which brings us to this, Zen meditation. You can offer classes online or offline, in person as well, or private one on one classes. You can also offer online digital products for as guided meditations. This form of healing is very, 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 very popular from with children, animals, and also elderly, and everyone in between far as age ranges and clientele. Zen meditation educator, healer, and also guided meditation speaker. You're normally there to help provide peace, comfort, and balance, and to also rejuvenate and restore through meditation. In addition to that, you have educator. Now, this more so takes on the traditional and also more so the modernized place of enlightenment. This here also has emphasis on your career track, whether you are actually college educated or become more so an enlightened, knowledgeable philosopher when it comes to the spiritual community, being well versed in teaching ancient practices, traditional artifacts and techniques to help modernize our society. As an educator, it is your job to actually have online classes or in-personal classes, and even maybe work in conjunction of to being an educator of metaphysics and holistic wellness and natural health and medicine, or every other avenue of spiritual magic or divination, or forms of traditional or old world or new world magic, and other forms of knowledge and enlightenment, especially those of the hidden ancient artifact knowledges. As an educator, you can charge as little as much, or you can be hired, contract, or leased licensed goods and materials that can help educate. If other forms of spiritual jobs and also labelings are not for you. This one, very popular, is activism. When you have a spiritual belief system that is very aligned with your purpose, activism may be for you, especially if you like to speak up and take action. Becoming an activist, especially in the spiritual community, you are actually taking on more than one role. Not only will you be an educator, but you can also be a healer as well, and also a teacher of such things. Becoming an activist, you're one with normally the earth element and several other elements as well as an elemental. You are speaking, and this is where the public speaking track actually kicks in. This is one form of it. As an activist, you're actually speaking up and taking charge for what's in the environment or social political causes. Normally, people don't charge for this, but you can tie this into your public speaking as an activist and also to books and other different things as well as an educator. One of my favorites, martial arts. This isn't taking an old world techniques and actually learning them to the highest caliber with your sensei or with your guru. With martial arts, it comes in several different ancient technique forms that now are still taught till this day. As a martial artist, not only are you practicing a form of elemental education, but you also are teaching different forms of healing techniques that actually work to not just to defend yourself and train the body to the higher caliber, but also to induce and also project a longer life strand. As a martial artist, you're taking old world ways and making them new. You can charge as little as a lot as you want. Some people charge free classes, but I know a lot of people normally have their own dojo and things of that nature and charge per class and per session, one on one, and also offer online goods and services in conjunction with their classes. Spiritual author and public speaker. This here, without the activism trait attached to it, a lot of spiritual authors and public speaking coaches and things of that nature offer a lot of goods and services in conjunction to their books and digital merchandise. A lot of people have now a life coaching and spiritual life coaching authority and also abilities now to actually take what they love by putting it in a book and going around to actually speak as an author about the different forms of spirituality and what it means to society and what it means to them. With in conjunction to public speaking, a lot of the spiritual authors have press junkets and other different things to go coincide online and offline where they offer goods and services based off their creative input in the spiritual community through their authorization of all their books and other digital goods and literary goods, but also their public speaking gigs and also shows and events to help educate people on their perspective. A little different from the activism position in the spiritual community. Another one, jewelry. So this particular one, very fun, very cool. This coincides to a lot of other different things, similar to the elemental and also crystal therapy and counter therapy. This particular position possible career position in the spiritual community is very, very, very cool because a lot of people like to sell a lot of artifacts and other different handmade goods, or they like to actually travel and search and find other different avenues, vendors who sell ancient goods that have a spiritual meaning and purposes to help balance and align your life. This one is very creative. This is for the spiritual person who wants to be very creative in their business while also producing other different additional goodlings for their customers. Spiritual and religious practices. This goes into our metaphysical healers and speakers, but also those who practice more so a traditional monk style life, or those who are more so of the religious caliber, who have a temple practice or church or establishment that is more so organized, similar to those in the Christian, Muslim, and Buddhist faith that have more so an organized and arranged type of position of power when it comes to their authority and alignment. Their authority and alignment more so are constructed and structured to make sure they are actually speaking to the masses. Esthetician. This here, normally you have to actually take on a technical or career path in the educational system to be trained to be an esthetician. This coincides with a lot of different things, such as Reiki and several other different career titles in the spiritual community, simply because you are taking on the job of amplifying someone to restore and rejuvenate their mind, body, and spirit and soul source, especially to help someone who has previously maybe have an injury or has attained a spiritual defect such as depression and anxiety, and you're currently helping them heal and restore order. This is one of the most popular ways of um, actually 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 projecting a healthy mindset for your consumers. You can charge as little as or as a lot, or partner with someone who has an established company to help a person heal and also get back to their higher self through beauty and other different forms of techniques like massage. Spiritual engineering. Now, spiritual engineering, this is one of my many favorites, and it is a old world technique that is becoming more modernized, which is why it is our last title for a possible career option in the spiritual community. Spiritual engineering actually entitles of creating spiritual based devices to help amplify the galactic and also technology based part of the spiritual community. As we are in the ages of technology, we're going to actually watch this particular career path come back to life. Everything from those cool, not nostalgic 70s, time machine. They're actually building portals and things to actually help balance us off and also advance our lives. Simply with a push of an app. You have actually used several of these devices before to actually help you sleep better. This has been our presentation for the Goddess Complex LLC. If you are interested in actually booking an appointment with me, make sure you are liking, following, subscribing our home pages and everything in conjunction to the Goddess Complex LLC. Thank you for watching.